Mikey.
Hello, hello. Testing out some new overlays, some new scenes, some cuts, and mixing it up, making war a little bit more, visually stimulating to everybody.
And we are resilient. We are war. Freaking love it, man. How you doing, 40 Mike?
Doing well, doing well. Just enjoying another week, another 70 degrees one day, 40 degrees the next.
Yeah,
Still waiting for that. Maybe like 2 days in a row of warm weather. Just
for sure.
willing
For
it to
sure.
existence.
Just two. I'll just be happy with two.
Absolutely.
We got the Bruins on tonight.
Them, to go out and come home with a couple wins under their belt.
For sure. For sure. So what's going on with you, Mike? I mean, it's another week. We're getting closer to Memorial Day, which is the unofficial start of summer, but for a lot of us, it has a different meaning. How are you doing?
Good. Last night we put out a calendar for the month of May. Mental health awareness. We just create a calendar, different mindfulness stuff. I'm gonna throw it up now. Uh, the Instagram page for Hellfish Haven. Um, we just put different things that you can do each day of the week. During the month of May to kind of change things up and work on yourself, work on self care, work on things to help your personal battle with mental health. And like I try to have different things instead of like everything always focused on like journaling or everything focused on writing. There's different things where it's you want some things outside, some things inside. Kind of change it up and show that like working on mental health can be done through so many different things. Whether people find solace in doing comic books like Steven and other people that go on the retreats with Project New Hope and things like that. So there's so many different ways that we can work on our mind that once you find that thing that's yours, really hold on to it.
Well, I like too that, one of the themes I get from your calendar is there's no day off. I mean, you can't have the same thing every day, but really mental health is a commitment for every day. It means, being purposeful about it every day. And so I really like that.
Absolutely. And like I said, everybody wants to grab this. I can send it afterwards, but it's also on the Facebook page for Hellfish Haven. I'll throw it on the war page afterwards as well. And just like I said, going out there and just having a way to challenge yourself each day. For me, always gives me the little extra to do something else. When the wife looks at the table full of laundry and goes, "I'm not saying that you need to do this, but if it's not here when I come home, it'll be good."
Barry Estevez is
little,
checking in.
little
Hey, Barry,
steps.
how's it going, brother?
Nope, I don't have a day off. Not with the 2-year-old now. And then I've been working with the Veterans uh, Gamer Foundation, Military Gamer Foundation, and they actually have a program with Discord where vets put in like I need to talk to somebody, and it sends a notification to 10 of us that are peer support, so that way so we can get on and talk with them and work them through a tough time.
So is now there's another one called Frost Call. How does that relate to
Yes,
what Frost Call does?
Frostgold is a similar thing. Their Discord channel has like a core group. With Discord, you can go on, you can game together with people, whether it's tabletop gaming, video gaming. You basically use it as a common ground to link up, chat, share videos, stream together, and just have almost like a digital place to gather.
We got Monkey Wrench Wellness checking in. That's Barbara Gale. She does stuff with the Warrior Within Yoga Project. So she loves the calendar, Mike.
Yes, the yoga was one of the first things that I tried and obviously, for me, I had like a negative connotation against it when I first saw it. I thought, oh, this is just some hippie stuff, this won't work. And then I actually went to it, and then I actually tried the Bikram yoga, the hot yoga. Oh my goodness, did I make a fool out of myself? It
How
was,
you tried the hot yoga? How was that?
yeah, so it was like 105 in the studio, and you know, quite get like my body to move that far. And my buddy handed me a towel so I can like hold the towel to complete the stretch. And instead, I rub my face in it because I'm just sweating so much. He looks at me, he goes, "Or that." So
I always
it was
thought of
good
hot
though. It's
yoga.
just
If I wanted to sweat somewhere, it brings me back to like the quarter deck at boot camp, right, where you're just you know suffering your own sweat. If like I wanted to do that, I'd just go back to boot camp. I don't know, but I went to Mike. I went to one of Barbara's classes. Now Barbara's a civilian, never served, but really felt a calling to serve veterans in this way. And so I went to a class she did at Bridgewater Fitness in Bridgewater, Mass. And man, everybody really like keyed in on what she was doing and saying, and people came back, and more veterans came back. So it was really cool to see that you can be a civilian and serve veterans. You can do other things and serve veterans. So that was really cool.
and then I also got a chance to do a retreat with Wounded Warrior Project. I think it was right before COVID, January. Uh, and went to New York City. We were able to work at a gym for the 2 days. They did like a healthy shopping, taught you how to like buy groceries, fitting in the different like things you need for your nutrients for the day for the week, and then had like different specific exercises. Use the TRX and whatever your disability was, and working around it to be able to strengthen the muscles and everything, using like your body weight instead of weights and machines.
Nice, 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 nice. So
And then I figured I'd throw up the little the Q&A on the font there, so folks know that anything anytime you guys want to jump in the show, we open this not just to see us sit here and talk all the time, but to interact with you all and and share what's going on in the veteran community from the veterans themselves and those that serve our community as well. Like you said, you don't have to be a vet to be a supportive member of the community.
so Barbara says, thanks, Travis. It's not hot, and it's not hot yoga and accessible and adaptable to everyone. Yeah, I think that's what I really saw was you didn't have to be like one of those human pretzels to participate. And Barbara got everybody through it, and I thought that was very important. What else is going on, man? I mean, we're already into May, Mike. This is crazy.
This year has been absolutely flying by. And I know we've got we're gonna do the water station for hidden battles. The 22 for 22 they have up at the uh, New Hampshire. What's the lake called? One second, I'm gonna look it up real quick. I think it's Newfound Lake in New Hampshire. It's it's a great event they've been able to have. Oh, that's an old one. Let's go right to their Facebook page. And then I know like also down to Bourne. There's a bunch of guys that they're the plate carriers on,
Yep.
and they go from Boston to Bourne. I think it's like a 40 or 50 mile hike,
Wow.
and that to me is just that's dedication for a cause right there. I mean, I
That's a
did Tough Rock a
long
couple of
way,
years
man.
back, and that 26 miles, damn near killed me, but.
That's a long way, bro. That's a long way.
All right, let's go events. Yeah, Newfound Lake, New Hampshire. They've got a ruck and a walk. The course is 5K, 10K, and 22K. I will throw up a registration link in the chat. If anyone's interested in that, that should pop up there. Can we be trillionaires? Is that what that says there, Travis?
Oh, that's from coming from Kick. I got a channel on Kick, and I get junk every now and then, and that's one of them. So the good thing is, only you and I can see that, and not everybody else. Thank God. So, well, I mean, everybody on the stream can see it, but it's not coming in their own chats. It's disappointing.
Gotcha. Don't just if it doesn't come from the host or it doesn't come from Oscar Mike Radio or Hellfish Haven, try not to click on random things. Just internet
Absolutely,
safety for the day.
100%, 100%.
I went over
So,
my parents' house today. They have
oh
a
yeah,
2015 Gateway computer.
what?
It's got the the little cow logo on it still, and like I'm like I can't believe you guys have this thing. It's still functional, and granted it's not because they can't find the hard drive anymore. So kept trying to reboot it to see if we could find a date that would work, would get it up and running, and it continued to give error codes. And then when I called them to ask for what the support would be, they're like, well, a new hard drive would cost you $130, and we have to send out and have to send it with a technician for $120 an hour, and then the part is in a special, so that's like 20. I'm like, what? Why don't they just buy a new computer?
True, true.
And so
Jeremy
just so I
Daniels
saw that.
coming. Jeremy Daniels checking in. Good to see you, brother. So, do you have anything? Do you have like I know it's like May 2nd, and everybody's like, well, you're already talking about Memorial Day weekend. But I'm like, I don't know how for you, Mike, but for me, from about May 20th through the first week in June, the calendar just explodes with stuff going on. Do you find that for yourself?
Absolutely. It's both depends on the events and like what I can make it to because I try each year to add something different because you can do the same speech to the same people over and over again, but I feel like we're not really doing our outreach and our getting a hold of our other brothers and sisters if we're not actually going to different events each time. So I try to change it up and go to other organizations events and try to see what else is out there to be able to aid and assist where we can.
Well, I'm glad
But
you brought that up
May
because
is definitely the month that they I feel like a lot of organizations go like balls to the wall.
I would agree. I would agree, and I'm glad you brought that up because sometimes it's like, well, I've come to your event for the last 7 years in a row, right? I mean, I don't mind coming. You put on a great event, but there's other people trying to do other things around there, and I want to support them. And I don't want to. I don't think I feel guilty anymore, but I definitely am like, it's not personal. It's not like you're all of a sudden we've got beef or there's a problem. It's just, hey, somebody else is trying something new or different, or they want to honor the fallen in their own way, and they asked me to be there, and so it's nothing bad. I'm happy that people. I'm happy that more people are taking time out of their Memorial Day weekend to give honor to those who have gone on before us.
I definitely think too the toughest part too is some organizations will have things specifically just for those killed in action, while others will have local spots like for Fox. What we do each year is members of the community that were veterans that passed before the actual day, Memorial Day, that year to the Memorial Day the previous year. They read their names off, and so it's sometimes when more people that I'm close with are going to be on that list. I feel the pull to go down to Foxborough for that event, or other times it'll be uh, a run or a 5K event that people are trying to do or to start, because those are tough to be able to pull off too.
Right.
I never
Right.
realized how much behind the scenes stuff is there to do these events. People come show up and run and get their shirt, and they don't realize how much planning goes into these meeting with the towns and setting everything up for the safety and the protocol and shutting down streets.
Man, I'll tell you, and then I both know come June, man, it's every weekend, every like motorcycle group, whether it's a Veterans Motorcycle Club or some like American Legion riders or some other like the Blue Knights have their rides, man, and they will start you know Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from now until August because we have such a short riding season up there. And I'm like, man, I just can't get to all of them. I just can't. You asked me to come to Manchester, New Hampshire, great, but that's an hour and a half there and back minimum.
Yeah. And then I do feel like too, like some of the events too, you're fighting for the time with the veteran, and the veteran also has that time with their family. So if you're not having events that are friendly and catering to the family as well, you're losing the opportunity to get that veteran out there and expose them, because they can't make that decision to spend time with their veteran brothers or their family.
Well, that's the thing, man. I'm trying to tell people, hey, it's great you want to have, like a brew fest for veterans, but you have got to have a bouncy house or games for the kids, seated, covered seating for, the wives and the grandmas. So, they can go and relax and enjoy themselves while, you can do that because it's just hard. I remember, 30, 30, 35, 28 having small children, man. You just like, oh, there's nothing for my kids to do. This is going to suck. I'm just not going to go. So I'm trying to tell people, hey, I know it's not quite like in your budget initially in your planning, but a bouncy house, a face painter, some, you know, candy bags, get them all sugared up goes a long way, man.
And that too is where you can get the corporate sponsors or the single event sponsors to come in and really make a difference. You get a car dealership to sponsor the bounce house at the event, and that's good press for them. They able to do that. You have somebody take a picture of somebody from the shop setting it up or plugging it in to have it expand, and sign right there. Brought to you by this sponsor, and you know your that's more family focused.
I mean, Mike, you're just freaking spitting fire tonight, brother. Here's the other thing I'm trying to make sure people do is, man, you have got to on social media and better yet, in by snail mail, send these sponsors, send people that give you, cases of water or pizza or whatever, send them a written thank you note and make sure you rep them on Facebook or social media hard, man. I mean, that donation's coming out of their bottom line. And it's the least you can do. Least you can do.
Absolutely. The the personal touch to it too, like you said, writing a thank you note, and literally just even just a thank you inside of a small little envelope, signed by the person that made the donation or the organization. Like AI,
Right? I'm like, if you got a a written typed out one is okay, but a handwritten one is something that you'll go into that place of business and it'll be on a wall somewhere, or someone will be so happy that you took the 5 minutes to write it out and get it to them. Man, it's just awesome.
I remember when my tattoo I got to be his first client when he opened his own store because I had followed him. He went from Providence down to Newport back to Providence and opened his own shop. And so I was the first person in the shop to get a tattoo done, and it was the Hellfish. And so, I went to go give him a tip, and he's like, can you break it at one so I don't have to hang up with 20? So we went and broke the 20, so we give him 21s. And then, he had me sign, the thing, from Hellfish, like you said, a personal thing, and it's hung up on the wall.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But those personal touches, like when people are worried about, AI replacing you and, AI replacing your job, it's things like that keep, the human side that will always beat, I think, in the end, you know, the monotony of, people coming in and doing the same thing over and over again, having that personal touch and being able to, reach out and connect to somebody will always, win my book.
We got a Ellen Husan Andre checking in. Do you know her?
Yes, Ellen, we were discussing the heads last week.
Oh yeah.
Well, 2 weeks ago, the pig heads.
Oh yeah.
Yep, Ellen was helping do the comedy event, and they have the pig roast with Mindy's Mission coming up in a couple of weeks in June.
Oh nice.
Because they've
Nice,
got
nice.
I want to say they had 3 pigs last year or something like that, and they had like the heads of each like pig that was at the pig roast. Because you had mentioned something about the brains being delicious.
Oh, brains are good, dude. I'm just telling you right now, brains are good. No doubt. So
I've had a little bit of crocodile. That's the most exotic I've ever had.
crocodile or alligator?
I don't know. It was in
Where,
Florida.
where
And
oh, then you had gator. Crocodiles are
mhm.
Africa, Australia, so on and so forth. Gators are us.
And I know that there was a place in either Easton or Stoughton that used to do like a wild game night, and they would do like lion, like some sort of bear, and like something else like exotic, like for the evening. And I just remember seeing like the plates be like $89 for a 2 ounce serving.
Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So we're going through. We're to May, man. We got Memorial Day coming up. We got the summer getting off. Um, one thing I kind of wanted to ask you is, I'm having people tell me that it's more than 22 a day now, and I have people saying it's more like 16 to 17 a day now. The numbers are trending down. I mean, you actually are on the front lines of this. What do you think? Are we making progress, or is it just we're holding the line?
Right now, the numbers skewed because of COVID, so like everything spiked up. But then they also got funny with the numbers by taking the numbers from the VA, making them different from the numbers from the active Department of Defense, and also moving, Guard and Reserve guys if they weren't on duty, add them as a number of, an active soldier and things like that. So like, but still the numbers were, for active duty it was still, 17 to 18 a day, and then with the veterans, it's still, there's still, 2 veteran and military personnel, a day still taking their lives.
Gotcha. Got you.
And the big thing too is still that 60% of them are not connected to the VA. And as much as people the VA have their qualms, having the resource available and having a place to know where is such a difference maker for people. And being able to say, hey, when shit hits the fan, I know I can call the Brockton VA Mental Health, or I can call my clinician at home base program, and that's where I can go and how I can get treatment. Well, the folks that are out there and just like they're not connected into the network or anything like that, they have the harder struggles, and that's
No,
where I think
no.
like the apps and stuff come in.
Well, the app is huge. It has over 2 million downloads now. But one thing that clarify for this for me: if you
Mm-hmm.
call 988, whether
Yep,
you're veteran or not, you get help. But
correct. And
also
then pressing one is will get you the better.
right. But that's the thing. The VA has that crisis line. So even if you're not in the VA system and you call that number, you're still going to get help, even though they don't have you in the system, is what I understood. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yep. So what it will do, like if you call 988 Massachusetts, you're gonna get the Samaritans. So the Samaritans are the local 988 affiliate here in this area, and then obviously it goes up to the federal one
Right.
as it goes up, and like so like for the Veterans Crisis Line, that goes to Buffalo. So that's where they answer the crisis line. They had like a documentary on HBO about that. It was really heartbreaking to watch and see the troubling calls that were coming in.
All right. I just, one of the things that I keep thinking about is, people are like, "Hey, are we making progress on this?" And I said, "Well, I think in some ways we are, but you have to put it out there that you're offering this service or advocacy outreach. You have to be connected to people. You've got to work with the VA. I said I know people don't like the VA, but I can tell you the VA if they once they get going on a problem, they're pretty good at helping you solve the problem within the confines of what they have. But sometimes a nonprofit local that can avoid all the paperwork and scrutiny might be the way to go. So I said,
Absolutely, and like
it's still a team effort, man. It's still a team effort.
and then that's the best way to go too about it is is not putting all your eggs in one basket. Is setting yourself up for success by ensuring that you can go to the VA for what you need. A primary care provider or referrals to X, Y, or Z, and then you use another organization for their better targeted care for PTSD or their work with traumatic brain injuries and things like that for more specialized care. You can look at the nonprofits that are out there, and like I just feel like having the mix of those in this area, we're really fortunate to have both good nonprofits and you know the VA that we have here, and also we've got the National Center for PTSD is in New England.
So, but it's still letting people know where the resources are. But I think it's even more basic than that. We as a community, our community has got to really internalize that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay. No one's gonna, yeah, people are gonna judge you. Some people are just miserable people and won't understand what you're going through. But there are people in our community that if you raise your hand and say, "Hey, I need help," we'll move heaven and earth to get you help, and it's okay. You're not. In fact, you're strong for asking for help. You're not weak.
Yeah, this year's motto for Mental Health America for the awareness is fight in the open. And so they say that the best way to erase the stigma and to push it aside is really showing that it's gone in a way is to have that fight in the open and to share the stories. And it's
Yeah,
why I don't mind letting folks know that I go to home base for treatment, and it's something I've done for years. I just I don't and I never took me the first couple times I went. I didn't have the right clinician. I didn't have the right doctor. I wasn't in the right headspace to do it. And
yeah,
I went, I stopped. I went, I stopped. And then finally, just something clicked. Like the right doctor, the right time, the right me, and was able to just push through and get the help I needed.
awesome, awesome. Um, let's see here. Any video games you're checking out?
I
Any video?
actually just looked at this. They got these retro handhelds that have all like the old games from basically Atari through PlayStation One,
Yeah,
and so it's basically like a Game Boy and you get to play, all the retro games on it. It's got a 3.5-inch screen color. And like I feel like the retro games right now for me and the people that I talk with are making a big push into things because people are getting mad at, you buy a game, as soon as you get home, put it in, update. As soon as you plug it in to go play, you gotta download 2.8 gigs of something else. And it's like the games have become so massive, and so they don't want you to own the game anymore, and they want to run things with the server and everything. So they make you have to connect to the internet to have to do this. You have to have a subscription to their monthly service in order to play the game. And it's like people are pushing back with saying,
Well, I mean, I'm playing Bolt Gun. It's the 40K, the Warhammer 40K take on Doom. And it's like a retro Doom game, man. It's not that complicated in terms of, button mashing or what you got to do. But I'm having a blast just blasting bad guys with my storm bolter and then, taking my chain sword and hacking some demons into. It makes me feel really good, Mike. And it's not that hard. Bad guy in front of you, destroy bad guy. Move on to the next one. No like fancy, arc system or skill tree or microtransaction. It's just you and bad guys and lots
that's the
of
thing
bullet
that kills
time.
me is like causing people to have to buy, the weapon that they need in order to beat the boss, or have to buy, you know, the skill, the next level, the next, save point in the game. It's just like, to me, that's not, you're literally just spending money. You're not actually playing the game for the fun of it. And it's just, I feel like those have like really put a hardcore dent into like people's thought of what's going on with this stuff, and the fact that they're not selling the physical copies, and they're taking stuff away from the libraries. Like last week, they shut down Nintendo Wii and Nintendo 3DS, the online shops. So if you didn't have the games already downloaded and stuff like that, it's just gone. You can't access them.
Yeah, that does worry
So I
me,
mean,
man. I'm like, I like the physical game. I like having the physical game. I really do.
yeah. And like one of the neat things too is like uh, the iPhone has always try to keep away emulation from its app store, and finally, uh, organization got through called Delta. So if anybody's got an iPhone, you can download the Delta uh, emulator, and then you can just put the different ROMs that are on there. Like for me, I've got NHL hits,
Oh yeah,
so I'm able to play NHL hits, 2003 on my phone, and it's you got NBA Jam where you got like you got caught on fire, and then you can slam dunk from like the opposite side of the court.
yeah,
So this was very similar for NHL hits. It was a 3-on-3 match, and it was just smash the hell out of the other guys with anything that you could. Same thing like you said, just button mash and get the goal and shoot.
awesome. Well, hey, I am Travis with Oscar Mike Radio, and I'm with Michael Geary, 40 Mike of Hellfish Haven. He's a founder and executive director. We are resilient. We are war, and in our own way, this is to Mike's earlier point. F the stigma. There's no stigma in asking for help. There's no stigma in receiving help. And in our own way, we've all, I've had to ask for help for certain things. You've had to ask for help, and we're here to tell you that if you do that, it's pretty good on the other side, man.
Absolutely, and you guys, you do matter. The thing out there is whatever you can get by. Like at the beginning of 2024, I said this is going to be the year of just little victories. Just set your goal, something small in front of you, and achieve that goal. Don't make it so your dreams aren't possible. Set them up so you can knock a few small things down and build up.
For sure, for sure.
And then who do you got tonight on following this for Oscar Mike Radio?
Oh, thanks, Mike. I have Stephanie Dasher, a U.S. Navy veteran, in out of Folly Beach, South Carolina. They have a surfing organization called Warrior Surf Foundation. And if you're a veteran, whether PTSD or no PTSD, if you're a veteran, you can participate in their program and learn how to surf. And I guess they have ways to make sure you're not eaten by sharks.
Really?
Because I said, Stephanie, I mean, if any shark is in the water, I'm a perfect meal for that shark. I would be very tasty, so I'm worried about that. She's like, you got nothing to worry about. And it was really cool how Stephanie saw this program and then got her husband to do it, and then she got involved and now is in a leadership position. And it's a cool thing where you can partake of something and then give back by helping out with it. So it was a really cool show. She was great to talk to, and you know, not that I don't know if you got waves big enough up here in Mass to actually surf, but if there was a surfing program in Massachusetts and if they had the waves, I'd try it out.
Like, yeah. So I got
So
the link is the YouTube live event, and then warriorsurf.org is their site.
yeah. So join me whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. I'm playing around with Instagram next, Mike. I'm trying to get the screen formatted right, but we're going to play around with that, and then check that out and drop me a like or a follow. And I think when people see these kind of programs, it's like, well, what can I do where I'm at, or maybe I'll go and check that out, and you should.
And absolutely, if if anybody out there needs resources and don't want to talk about it during the chat, feel free to send us a message, and we'll find you guys resources locally or or locally that'll be able to assist you whatever you guys need.
All right, and then I gotta get with Gunny about every Saturday in Marine and have him on our show. So I'll follow up on that this week, Mike.
Sounds good to me. Well,
All
enjoy
right, well, I'm
your
gonna get.
first weekend. Have a great show this evening. I will see you in the comments and everybody for joining us. Thank you very much.
We are resilient. We are war. And at the Stigma, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Be sure to have yourself there. The Instagram.